Hello. Am I audible?
Welcome, madam. You are audible. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining. This is Ram Kumar
Yes. Thank
Sigaram.
you.
Yeah.
And hello, Mr. Ram.
Hello, madam.
Okay.
So,
The, so should I keep admitting people? Sorry, this format. There are people
no,
who've been
you
requesting.
don't worry. You don't worry. We have got people to do so. So they will take
Okay.
care. So
Okay.
now, friends, thanks for joining. We'll be starting shortly, probably at 6:34 or 6:35, in another 5 minutes time. We'll be joining shortly. Please bear with us. Guests are joined already. We are waiting for some more people to join. So at least 6:33 or
Okay.
6:34, once we get some numbers, we'll start. Madam,
Okay.
please wait for 5 minutes, madam.
No problem.
If
Thank
you
you.
want to check the PPT, if you want to share the screen and check it, you can do so.
No, there's no PPT. I'm just going to speak. I didn't know that there was a PPT.
Not
I'm just going to
necessary.
speak. Will that be
Yeah,
good
yeah, that
enough?
is more than enough. More than enough. Okay, so this is
Right.
okay, madam. Okay, so you can take rest for 5 minutes.
Yes.
I'll call back. Okay, okay. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Okay. So should I put my screen off first?
Friends, thanks for waiting. We'll join in and we'll start in another 2 minutes.
Hello.
Yes, madam. We are going to start.
Okay, wonderful. So
Uh,
should I introduce myself and then?
no, no,
Yeah.
I will take it
Okay.
forward. Okay. Friends,
Okay. Okay.
thank you.
Please.
Yeah. Friends, thank you very much for joining this wonderful event. This is actually we are in around 20th or 22nd webinar. We warmly welcome our today's guest from UAE, Miss Manju Ramanan, who is well-known personality in media industry as well as in PR industry as well as in media in what to say in journalism industry. Okay, madam is a well-known editor, author, YouTuber, content developer, PR consultant, events consultant, and whatnot. Everything and at UAE. Madam born and brought up in India and moved to UAE. And we'll be reading a separate bio profile about Madam. Welcome, Madam. Thank you for
Thank
accepting
you
our
very much.
invitation.
It's my honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you very
No,
much
no,
for
I am
accepting our
very glad
invitation.
to be here.
Yes, Madam.
Thank
So
you.
thank
Thank you very
yeah.
much for having me here.
Madam, wait. So
So
thank you very
I'll
much.
start. Yeah.
Madam, please wait. So friends, the event is going to be just a four-part session. First, a welcome and introduction about PRSI. Then next, Professor Sampath Kumar,
Mhm.
our Joint
Mhm.
Secretary, will introduce Madam formally. And then Madam
Okay.
will speak on the topic of the Arab world and the Indian cinema. And then finally, question and answers followed by vote of thanks. So this is a simple format. Now, about PRSI, okay, PRSI means Public Relations Society of India. People, I can see a lot of old faces and some new faces who regularly attend our webinar. And this time, I can see a lot of new faces also because of the topic movie or cinema, which attracts a lot of new faces now. So here I want to recognize the presence of our secretary, Dr. Raja, who is the assistant professor at Satyabama University. By the way, I am Ram Kumar Singaram. I am the chair of Chennai chapter of
Mhm.
Public Relations Society of India. And there is, I like to recognize the presence of Ms. Rajeshwari Madam from Hyderabad PRSI, who helped in getting the busiest person, Ms. Manju Ramanan, for our forum. Thank you very much and warmly welcome to Rajeshwari Madam. So we also have Professor Sambat Kumar, who is the assistant professor in Viscom department in Wales University, Chennai. Public Relations Society of India started in the year of 1959 in Kolkata. Now it has got around 23 chapters across
Ah, okay.
India, and there are around 3,000 plus members.
Mhm.
Like no members means members are from media
Mhm.
industry, advertising industry, Viscom industry, and journalism. All sort of PR agencies, all sort of people are members. Particularly Chennai chapter started in the year 1969. It is one among the oldest chapter in
Mhm.
India. So we have got 115 members and a lot of professors from multiple colleges of Viscom department and a lot of corporates and a lot of public sector companies are all members. Their Corpcom departments are members. So every month we conduct two webinars and one offline meeting at Chennai. So people who are interested, they can join, enroll them as members. So they can have every once and two webinars every month. So thank you very much.
Mhm.
I welcome all the members, and I can see a lot of research scholars, doctorates, research students. Nice to see a lot of people across India. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for your hope and belief on us. Certainly, Ms. Manju Ramanan is going to rock today. She has got a lot of information, and due to her experience, she can able to give more input, whatever on the topic. Okay, so now over to Professor Sampath Kumar to give an official intro about Ms. Manju Ramanan.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. A very good evening and a warm welcome to all distinguished guests, members, and participants. It is a privilege to extend a special welcome to our guest of honor, Ms. Manju Ramanan, eminent editor, author, YouTuber, and content PR event consultant, whose distinguished career of over 25 years in journalism and media has spanned the cinemas, culture, literature, business, and events, public events across the Middle East and India. As former editor-in-chief and head of content for Filmfare Middle East and Femina Middle East, she has conceptualized and led high-profile editorial initiatives and large format events that brought together leading Indian, Pakistani, and Arab film personalities on a common platform. Ms. Manju is also a celebrity moderator and curator, having hosted and stirred numerous international festivals, book launches, literature conclaves, and film forums featuring acclaimed artists, writers, and thought leaders, while simultaneously building impactful campaigns such as cancer awareness initiatives and women-centric programs. As an author of book and translations, and as a creator of digital talk show, Ms. Ramanan's talk show, Manju Ramanan's talk show, she has consistently used storytelling to bridge regions, languages, and audiences. Her academic grounding uh, her academic grounding in English and post-colonial studies, coupled with her extensive experience in print, broadcast, digital media, and live events, makes her uniquely placed to speak on the intersecting of cinema, culture, and public communication that are at the heart of today's deliberation. On behalf of PRSI Chennai, it is an honor to welcome Ms. Manju Ramanan to this forum and to invite all of you to join us in benefiting from her rich insight and experiences. Yeah, over to ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Sampath, Professor Sampath. It's a lot of pressure now. You built a lot of pressure for me. I hope I fulfill all your expectations of, the knowledge that I can share with you all. And thank you very much for inviting me, PRSI. Everybody who's been part of putting this together, a big thank you. I'll start with talking about this. I don't have a presentation. Am I audible? Am I good? Can I continue?
Yeah, very much. You can continue, madam.
Yeah. So I live in Dubai. I've been living in Dubai for the last 18 years. And in India, I used to be part of Femina. When I came here, then I joined Filmfare. Before that, I did books and stuff like that. If you've been to Dubai, if you've been to the Middle East, and especially Dubai, if you come, you know that it doesn't feel like it is out of India. You feel like it is a country within India. It's just that everything around Dubai, just to give context to what I'm talking about, if you go on Sheikh Zayed Road, which is called the lifeline of Dubai, every other hoarding or a poster is a Bollywood star. They all have endorsements here. They have real estate projects that they are faces of. So if you look at when you enter Dubai and you enter this big road, which is the main lifeline, you find a lot of faces which are not Arab, but Indian. And that too Bollywood stars, Bollywood as in Hindi film stars largely. You also have, sometimes you also do see a lot of South Indian film stars, but largely Hindi film stars is what it is. Now, a lot of people know that in Dubai, Shah Rukh Khan's birthday is celebrated. We all have seen that on the Burj Khalifa, you have Happy Birthday Shah Rukh Khan, and there's a light and sound display, and the whole Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building of the world, the canvas, it is used as it's almost used like a screen, and on the screen you have Happy Birthday to Shah Rukh Khan. Now we are looking at it as today. This is the love that the Arab world, which is another country outside India, has towards cinema. But that love started many years ago. This is just a collective manifestation of what you see on the Burj Khalifa today. What exactly happened was many years ago when stars started coming overseas for promotions of their films, for concerts that they did, and interactions. They have friends in this part of the world. And the Arab world, because of its closeness of culture, they're very similar in cultures, embraced Indian cinema. If you look at, while my research happened in this region, I also tried to find out when was the first theater in the UAE. This is the United Arab Emirates, which has 7 emirates. All the 7 emirates tie together to become the United Arab Emirates. And they just celebrated their National Day on December 2nd, which was just now. And all the 7 emirates have, all of them have theaters, and all of them have films that release across theaters. So film that comes out of India, and if the first destination of promotion is usually Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Sharjah Sharjah, which are the 7 Emirates. So what happens is when a film comes, once a film is a hit in India, or probably simultaneously, it's also released in this part of the world. And this area used to be on Fridays, we used to be have a weekend at one point. Now it has moved to Saturdays and Sundays, like everywhere in the world. But at one point in time, this is about 2 years ago, Friday was our weekend. So we used to watch a film one day before India watched it. So all our reviews and everything that came into, all as journalists who write the film reviews, would come one day earlier than India. And that's why a lot of Indian journalists used to they used to look for our reviews to see how the film has fared overseas. So that is the close connection that we have here. Now, a large part of the United Arab Emirates, to give context, is largely the largest immigrant population is Indian. We constitute of a large population of the United Arab Emirates and the Gulf world and the entire Gulf as well. Around 200 nationalities live in the United Arab Emirates, 200. And all of them, amongst all of them, Indians are the largest, majority of them. But Indian cinema is not restricted to just Indians. Indian cinema is not restricted to Indians. It is seen by Arabs, it is seen by Pakistanis, it's seen by Sri Lankans, it's seen by Bangladeshis, and sometimes it's also seen by non-Indian, as in Europeans and other people, some famous films. So if you look at the cultural context of the UAE and cinema of this region, you will see all of these films are playing in theaters. That also includes a large population of South Indian cinema, which is Malayalam cinema. Malayalis cinema, which is very popular here. There are fan clubs here. The radio stations here play their music. The radio stations here make sure that all the film promotions of Malayalam and Tamil and Telugu and Kannada are played here. So the point is, again, like a Hindi film, a lot of film promotions of South Indian films also happen in Dubai. So you will have, if you have a Hrithik Roshan or a Shah Rukh Khan come to Dubai, you also have a Dulquer Salman or a Mammootty or anybody from the other industries, all the big stars from the industries. Superstar Ajit has won, I think I interviewed him when he won for India. He came third, I think. And I was there at the race course interviewing him. And everybody who came to the race course in the sense, the motor race course in Dubai, everyone was his fan. The moment he won, all the crowd disappeared. So they came, they were fans who had come for him. They had not come for the sport, they had come for him. So that is the love that you can see across. So I'm talking about a Shah Rukh Khan who's just, he started a project called Shah Rukh's, with a Z, with a group called Danube, which is a real estate company here. So he and Danube have tied up, and now there's going to be a tower called Shah Rukh's on his name. That is the current one. So like that, you find a lot of, collaborations. A lot of people from the Indian film industry have settled here. So you have Sanjay Dutt, whose children study here, and his wife is here. Nawazuddin Siddiqui, who's moved here. Then you have Mohammad Zishan Ayub, who's moved here. Then you name it. Sonu Nigam is here. Madhavan, R. Madhavan lives here. His son trained here. He came here during COVID because he couldn't train in India, so the child trained here. So many people live here. And Vivek Oberoi lives here. So many stars. I think Ajit Kumar also has a house here. Mohanlal has a house here. There are people, Mammootty lives here. They come and go. So this is like an extension of India. So and it's also because people love them. They get a golden visa. So the golden visa that the government gives is a 10-year visa given to important citizens. So a lot of these stars have received the golden visa so that they can continue to live here, or they can come and go. Or they have a base here. And because from here, this is central. So going to the UK, the US is slightly lesser hours than living in India. So people come here very often. So the whole idea is the love for Indian cinema has brought in a lot of film stars to come and settle in Dubai. So that is the current scenario, and there are people increasing. Recently, just about 2 weeks ago, we had Anurag Kashyap here. Now, as you all know, Anurag Kashyap, the filmmaker, the film director, who's very well known with Gangs of Wasseypur and a lot of other cinema, has moved base from Bombay to Bangalore because he feels that South Indian cinema is the one that nurtures him. And he feels that Bollywood is not for him. Now, he had come with his film called Kennedy. Kennedy, his film, did not release in India, but it released all over the world, including Dubai. So Dubai saw the last screening of Kennedy. It starred Rahul Bhatt in a title role, and you had a lot of his. You could see the film has a lot of art value, but somewhere because it did not do well it didn't release in India, but the film became famous without its release in India because all the other countries praised the film and there were so many interviews. So we interviewed, journalists interviewed Anurag Kashyap here. The film became popular here. People came to watch it. There was master classes. So the thing is, people come to watch all kinds of cinema. It need not be just a popular Hindi film. I remember, so if I just extend this love for cinema a little bit more, our neighboring country, which is Saudi Arabia, which is the United Arab Emirates, the next country is Saudi Arabia. If you know, they didn't have theaters for a very, very, very long time. And you know, the first film that released and first theaters that were built was probably built around 2019. Imagine they didn't have theaters till then. 2019, I think they had theaters, and the first film to release there was Rajnikant sir's Kala. That film released in Saudi Arabia. It was the first film to release in Saudi Arabia in 2019. So you can imagine the kind of love that this part of the world has for not just Bollywood cinema, but Indian cinema. But if you go back a little more, I'm also trying to figure out when did cinema start in this part of the world. So this entire region got, it was under British rule. It was called Trucial States. All the 7 emirates were called the Trucial States. It was not called the United Arab Emirates. It was called the Trucial States. And what happened was the Gulf area, which is near Sharjah, was a base for the army. The British Air Force base was in Sharjah because they could keep an eye on submarines from Germany and other countries, which might torpedo their ships there, because the Gulf is an important part of the region. If you look at geographically, it's a very important part because that's the route to go. Then to watch the torpedoes, you had to have an air base there, which was the British air base, where the Americans were also there. The first theater was built for soldiers of those Air Force people for their entertainment. It was a very makeshift kind of a thing. So if you look at it, you can easily say the World War II dates, if you look at it, theaters in the United Arab Emirates date back to about 82 years. The first films that came, which were played over there, I'll just read it out. So the first films that you could probably look at to entertain the forces were things like Gone with the Wind, and some of the other films were there, which is not very well known, but it is there. And this is a research done by historian Ali Iqbal Chaudhry. There were films like Winter Carnival, 1943, Tight Shoes, 1939, Badlands of Dakota, 1941, The Man Who Lost Himself, 1941, and more. Now, as per a presentation at the Gulf and Visual Making in the Gulf Conference, NYU Dubai 2018, Kuwait and Bahrain are nearby countries at cinema since the 1930s. Now, to give you a perspective of this was the cinema happening at this region around this time. But around the same time, World War II was also happening. So if you look at the cinema of India during World War II and the cinema that came to the UAE, it was not at the same time because it was not easy to transport film so easily from India to the UAE. So a lot of the United Arab Emirates received films a little later. For example, at that time, if you look at the Hindi film industry, K.L. Saigal, Prithviraj Kapoor, Motilal, Devika Rani, Ashok Kumar, V. Shantaram were largely the actors of that era. And the themes of those films at that time were largely the freedom movement, because we're talking about pre-1947, pre-independent era. So we are looking at films of that era, pre-independent era. I'm sure I have not done an entire research on the entire film industry, but if you would know that a lot of films pre-independent India were a lot about freedom from the British, or in a certain way, a lot of patriotism was a very important aspect of films before 1947. And then, of course, you had reform based films such as Prostitute Marriages, Tuberculosis Deaths, Family Stories. You can see such films at around that time. Marathi cinema also had a strong Marathi, Gujarati. I'm sure there was a lot of mythological, even I'm sure Tamil and other cinema also had a lot of mythology. Like you had Prahalad, and they had their own ethos of films that were happening around that time. Even Bengali films started making silent films back in 1919. Again, 1947 is an important part of not just the freedom of India, freedom of India from the British, but it also is around the partition of India. So the fact that Pakistan was formed and Pakistani film industry became a separate industry from the Indian film industry. But in the Indian film industry, around the 1950s, just post-partition, we see the rise of Raj Kapoor, Nargis, Madhubala, Nutan. I'm sure it's also the era of Shivaji Ganeshan, Gemini Ganeshan. You have Prem Nasir, you have Satyan, you have Padmini from Malayalam cinema, Satyajit Ray, Uttam Kumar, Soumitra Chatterjee in Bengal. There is so much of movement happening around cinema of that region. Now, how much of that cinema? So we are talking about the 50s. We had the trinities in Bollywood. We had Raj Kapoor, Dilip Kumar, and Devanand, who were loved and appreciated widely. And then you have those films could not come immediately. So the one of the first earlier films that came to this part of the world was the Dilip Kumar Vijayanti Mala Ajit starrer Ganga Jamna on industrialization. So it is a film about there is a race of the film between a horse carriage and a motor car. So it talked about industrialization, and that was one of the first films that was screened in the United Arab Emirates. Now, and also understand that it is never immediate. When it was released in India, it was not the same time it could come here. There was a time of the transport because it wasn't digital like it is today. And we all know how it was transported, how film reels were brought in and transported to this part of the world. And there are some very senior people have interviewed in this region on how they would promote films. How would they push people to come into theaters? Apparently, so if you see contextually, if you know the Dubai Creek, people would stand, a man would stand with a board around his neck on a boat talking about the film that is going to be played. So they used to have advertising like that at one point in time, because that is the way people would get to know to go watch a film. Then there were national cinemas at Al Nasser Square. Dubai was built in 1950. There is a national cinema that was built in 1950. The first air-conditioned cinema, AC cinema theaters, opened by His Highness Sheikh Rashid. His Highness Sheikh Rashid is the father of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. And it was called the Dera Cinema. There was an open-air rec cinema on Al Khawanij. Now, if you are familiar with Dubai, all these names matter to you. Otherwise, I can read it out and tell you what all that things that happened. Now, in the 1960s, the Hindu temple opened in Dubai, and it is right behind a mosque. I'm mentioning the Hindu temple because there is a film on the Hindu temple that was played when the new temple was inaugurated, and that film has a cinema. It was actually screened. The entire thing. There is a screen. There is a shot of people watching a film in that one, which means around that time there was a cinema, and then there were independent cinema. We are only not talking about Dubai. Sharjah had its cinema, Concord Cinema, Alhambra. There were lots of cinemas across, and that was the only mode of entertainment. Now, there is a very senior person in Dubai. His name is Ahmed Golchin, and he's a film distributor. He's probably called the father of cinema business in the UAE. He's an Iranian, and he's worked with every all the films that came via Fars Films, Phars, to this part of the world. And Ahmed Golchin is called the father of cinema business in this region. And he would put placards on people's necks to promote films. And as per some websites, Al Sarkal website, one of the early films to have screened in the UAE is a film called Dosti. And I don't know how many of you have watched black and white films, but Dosti is one of those very old films. There are two friends, and one of them is blind. And I've had the chance to meet and interview and interact with some Emiratis people from the local, from this region, and many of them speak Hindi. Some of them speak Malayalam. Uh, there is a friend of mine who's an Emirati blogger. In fact, if you go to my Instagram, I've just shared a story that I did of him, which is a collaboration. Now, Hamad Al Riyami is from Abu Dhabi, and he is somebody who who was 4 years old when his father took him to watch Dharmender's film Dharamveer. So Dharmendra's film Dharamveer was a very popular film at that point in time, and he was 4 years old. He's probably about 52 now. So I'm talking about when he was four. So we are talking about at least how many years ago, right? At least about 48 years ago. He was taken to a cinema theater by his dad and his mother, and they all were in a queue. And he remembers, he's in his interview, he's told me that he has gone with them to watch this film, and he became a fan of Dharmender at the age of 4. He's Arab. He's learned Hindi by watching Hindi films. You can see a lot of examples like that there. Am I exceeding my time? Please, somebody has to tell me.
Proceed, madam. Proceed. You can go up to
Okay,
zone
no,
15.
please tell me because I will not. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
you can take more 15 more minutes there. 15-20 minutes.
15 minutes there. Okay.
Yeah, 15 to
So
20.
Hamad Al Riyami not just became a fan of Dharmender, he went to visit him because now when he grew up and he became a journalist, now he wanted to see him. And he used to hover around his house to just see whether he could get in. And this is an Arab man who's gone to Bombay to just go and meet Dharmender. Now he can't just meet him because he's and he's a actor. But and he became very close friends with him. Is the surname. And this man has, like, because Dharmender treated him like a son, he called himself Hamad Diol in his Instagram page. So you can actually go and check his page and you can see that Hamad has that much, that is the love that they have for him. And then when he passed away, Dharmender passed away recently, and I could see that he was visibly shaken. And this is a true fan, somebody who really, really loved him. He went to Bombay after the funeral to meet the family. He met both the families. He also met Himaji, and he met Sunny Deol and Bobby Deol and that family as well. And he was really heartbroken. So there is an interview of him that I did for Khaleej Times, and he's shared that interview on my page. If you go to my Instagram page, you will see that interview of Hamad. And I have interviewed Hamad before too. He speaks beautiful Urdu. And I have another friend called Ahmed. Ahmed goes by the Instagram page Chai with Ahmed. Like coffee with Karan, now he's Chai with Ahmed. He again learned Hindi by watching Hindi films. I'm sure there are a lot of examples of a lot of other people like that because the love for cinema for them is very personal. When I went to Saudi Arabia last year, I went to the Dammam Film Festival. I could see Arabs who come to me and say, "Ma'am, we would like to sing." They will sing a song, which is like two-line song, a Hindi song. So that is the love that they have. A very close friend of mine called Badar, who works for Dubai Tourism, he's again an Emirati. He told me something so beautiful. I'm sure all of you would have watched, heard this song, Bole Chudiyan. Bole Chudiyan, Bole Kangana. It's a song from Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. And the Emirates, the Emiratis, which is like the place where I live in, the United Arab Emirates. Bole Chudiyan is a anthem for weddings. For Emirati weddings, they have to have this song. Now, look at the cultural, uh, uh, acceptance of a Hindi song, which comes into them so easily. So a lot of it, again, I've had the chance to interview Mr. Mohan Lal when he had come after the Kerala floods. Post the Kerala floods, when he came to Dubai, I had the chance to speak to him because he had come to collect money for Kerala floods, and he did a concert in Abu Dhabi. It was under AMA, that is the organization. And the people that came and they poured their hearts out, and the way they supported him, you should see it. He himself made about 17 appearances here. So there is a lot of love of not just Bollywood, but Indian cinema from the local population. So many brand ambassadors that you see of brands here are all Indian. You can see Katrina Kaif, you can see Hrithik Roshan, you can see Shahid Kapoor, you can see Kareena Kapoor, you can see Alia Bhatt, you can see Manju Warrier, you can see Prabhu, you can see so many people. And every time you see them, you'll say, okay, now this one is signed in. You have Ranveer Singh, you have Amitabh Bachchan, you have Sara Ali Khan, everybody is there. So when you see it, when you see them, and I mean, I live here for the last 17 years, but when I see a familiar face, an Indian face in a foreign country, and everybody knows them, they know they're following them on Instagram, and they'll say, why Kareena, why this actress wore this, and why did Aishwarya? They know, they talk about stars like we talk about stars in our country, except that this is another country. But they've accepted and integrated Indian cinema so beautifully that you'll not find a difference. Sometimes they are better, they're better knowledge. They have better knowledge. Sometimes they know the characters' names better. Another friend of mine called Armen Gregg, who is actually Armenian, he is a big fan of Mithun Chakrabarti, and he has seen a disco dancer 50 times as a child in his country. And once he told me his grandfather stopped him from watching the film because he would go every other day to watch it. He said, I cried for 3 hours because when I was standing there and my grandfather was screaming at me, in my head, I was thinking of each scene that I missed. At this time, this scene would be going on. He again went to Mr. Mithun Chakrabarti's house and met him. There is insane amount of love. And that love you will see once you meet them and you talk to them. They have better knowledge than many of us about our own cinema. So you can see that ardent love that our cinema has in their hearts, because it is culturally we are similar. And there are many actors who come here for vacations. They are hosted by locals. And yeah, Shah Rukh Khan's birthday, like we started talking about it, Shah Rukh Khan's birthday is celebrated on the Burj Khalifa. It's almost like Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, all these, all actors come here so regularly that you don't feel that you're out of India. In fact, Indian cinema, thanks to Indian cinema, people like us who live in outside India, we feel that, okay, we have seen them here too. Not that we don't miss India. There is no second to India that way. But when you meet them, you feel that, oh, these are the people who bring us back to, and when you talk to them, and Arabs for that matter, there are collaborations also happening between the countries. You can also see Arabic songs in Hindi films which have been dubbed or sung by Arabic singers. I have a friend from Oman. Sorry, can I hear? Sorry,
Proceed, madam.
Okay, right. So I have a friend from Oman, and his name is Haitham Rafi, Mohammed Rafi. He is a Mohammed Rafi fan. He's called Haitham Rafi. And he sings Vaishnava Janato. You should Google him, Haitham Rafi, Vaishnava Janato. If you just Google it, you will see him sing that song with such beautiful rendering. It is really truly beautiful to see other people speak our language, our culture, and talk to us about some of the films I might not have watched, but they will tell me that, ma'am, did you watch this film? In that film, he was that actor and that was his character. And they like Govinda's films. They consume cinema. So the whole idea is this love. It's the love for Hindi cinema, Malayalam cinema, South Indian cinema. Now everybody is watching everything. In fact, the Southern cinema is right now, as we speak, is more popular than Bollywood. And you had Dulquer Salman come to Global Village, and he promoted his recent film, which was what was it called? I forget the name of the film. It was based on Tyagaraja Bhagavatar, I think. It was called the Kanta, the film Kanta that released here. And yeah, so I can go on and on about the cinema that comes to this part of the world, and how beautifully it's integrated into the world, and how values and everything that you can see in Hindi cinema, and the way you have fans over there, you have fans over here as well. And a whole lot of Bollywood and Malayalam films were shot here, shot in Dubai as well. So many themes of films have been in Dubai. For example, Irfan Khan's Killer. Imran Hashmi is a Dubai cab driver in that film. And many Feroz Nadiadwala films have been shot here. Dabangg was shot here. Salman Khan's Dabangg was shot here. Malayalam films like Varavelpu, Jacob and Swargarajyam thematized Dubai, and they were also thematized in Dubai. Sometimes films are based on this guy who's come back from Dubai. So Dubai and this part of the region is part of the script of a lot of films as well, even if it is the region which is not part of it. Sometimes they don't shoot here, but it is shot there, but there's a reference of Dubai. Now, we also have a song on the Burj Khalifa now, a Hindi song on the Burj Khalifa, and several ad campaigns of Bollywood stars are shot in Dubai. Of course, I already spoke about the faces on everything. The Dubai Film Festival. There used to be a Dubai Film Festival which doesn't exist anymore, and the Abu Dhabi Film Festivals had a lot of film stars who came here regularly, and of course, celebrity endorsements, interviews, all of that. Now, many of them, Kalpana ji, who one of our earlier yesteryear actors, has moved here. She lives here for the last over 25 years. So she calls Dubai her home, and she used to work here. We have so many people here. Devi passed away in Dubai. Our beloved actress Devi passed away in Dubai. You heard Farooq Sheikh, who was here, and he passed away here. So it's a culture. When she died, that whole week we could see Dubai was mourning. I've had calls from people saying that what is happening, what is going on, what is the story. And these are not Indians that I'm talking about. Everybody wanted to know what happened. So there is a lot of love. Asha Bhosle, celebrated her 90th birthday in Dubai in a concert at the Coca-Cola Arena. For 3 hours, she stood and sang, and everybody cheered her. 90, 90-year-old lady sang. She celebrated her birthday with people. So that's what I come back to Shah Rukh Khan and say that if we celebrate Shah Rukh Khan's birthday on November 2nd at the Burj Khalifa, the love started many years. Yeah? Is this over or should I continue?
Madam, 5 more minutes, madam. Time is 7:12. Let us close at 7:20 or something. Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Okay. So there are many stories like that I can talk to you about. It's very normal sometimes to go out and you can probably meet a star or two. And stars who come to Dubai are in a more relaxed mood. The press here is very friendly. They are not people who will ask stars uncomfortable questions, because the fact that they love you so much that they are usually very nice to you. It's a different kind of journalism here, because the only thing that we can criticize here is also films. Films can be criticized. So there is censorship, definitely there. But in terms of cinema, in terms of entertainment, it's usually something that you can talk about. You can criticize. You can say this film is terrible and this didn't work for me and stuff like that. That is possible here very much, like in other parts of the world. Yes, entertainment journalism has changed. When I came to Dubai, we had magazines, we had print, we used to read more. Now everything is digital. So with changing times, journalists for that matter, and I have full salute to journalists who were working behind computers. They were not the faces of, they never faced cameras. They were just doing stories behind, with, typing away furiously somewhere. And many of us had to adapt to face the camera. And that's not an easy job for everybody, but they did. And today's digital world asks them to be faces of, things that they probably would have written about. Today's digital world also makes sure that your pictures are stronger than your text. Your writing, your words are smaller, and your text is bigger because apparently people don't have attention spans. So a long form writing has stopped. You don't have articles which go on to 2,000, 3,000 words. Nobody reads them. We are told that if you do YouTube videos, you'll have to make sure that your content is crisp and short, and there is clickbaity, content written on it. So there is a change across the world when it comes to journalism. Reading has declined. We all know that. But the whole idea is within that space, within this constraint, how are we getting good content out rather than sensational content out? Film promotions happen in Dubai. Interviews cannot be film promotions. There are two different things. When you meet a star, you need to spend time with the star or any subject to get a good interview out of them. Whereas a lot of people come here to promote their films, the only questions that you can ask them is about the films. So there is a distinct difference that you have to make between an interview and a film promotion. So putting it all together, I'll feel that there is a lot of love about in Indian cinema in this part of the world. But yes, journalism is changing and we are adapting to. And because of this digital technology, I've had the great chance to speak to all of you. And thank you very much for listening to me. I didn't have a presentation. I just thought I'll speak to you all. I hope you liked it and thank you.
Wonderful session, madam. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. It's a wonderful flow. Now we have got a scene before our eyes about how Arab, how UAE people feels Indian cinema. So now, friends, it's open
Yeah.
to you. You can unmute yourself and you can ask questions to Madam Manju Ramanan. Or you can also post your questions in the chat box. Madam will answer.
Okay, let me see.
Friends, you can unmute
Okay.
yourself.
Anyone is asking me? Yes.
Madam, first I will ask the question and then other people will follow. How about the bloggers market
Sure.
there? Because India is full of bloggers market nowadays. Lot of bloggers are there who has got wonderful followers, bloggers, YouTubers, lot of bloggers are there in influencers, in other words. Lot of influencers are there in India
Yeah.
now. It's a very much growing market like
Yes.
an organized sector also. In unorganized sector, lot of influencers. How is UAE in movie influencers?
Journalists will not like bloggers very much unless they are bloggers themselves. But definitely there is a voice. And I am happy that there is a voice. As long as it's a serious voice and not a sensational voice to just click a selfie with a star and post is not my idea of even a blogger. There has to be content coming out. What are you, how are you approaching that interview is what I'd like to know. I'm not snobbish about you not being a journalist asking that question. I am keen on what is the content that you're getting out of the star or getting out of the person that you're interviewing. That is more important to me. And if it is not, then it doesn't qualify. Content has to be strong. It doesn't matter whether it's a blogger interviewing somebody or a journalist interviewing somebody. So that I don't see. I'm yet to see good content coming out. That's across the board, not just here, everywhere in the world.
Friends,
Okay.
anyone like to ask
That's
the
it.
question?
Nobody
they can
has
unmute
questions.
themselves.
Sir,
They can unmute
I have a
themselves.
question to pose at ma'am, sir. Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Ma'am, this is Prakash, film journalist and critic, Chennai based. I'm also a PR person for films here. I would like to know
Okay.
whether there is a press screening for the media. You said a lot of movies, sometimes even one day prior to the release in India, films hit the theaters there. Is there an arrangement wherein the media members of the press and media are shown the film separately, press screening kind of?
No, what happens nowadays, because it used to be Fridays were the weekend. Now the weekend is a Saturday and a Sunday, like the rest of the world. So now what happens is, if they want to send anything to the media, it's usually sent as a link. So if you want to, it's a personal link. There's not a public screening. So you'll have to probably watch it in
Okay.
with a certain in your computer and then right. But otherwise, publicly, media screening is not there because see, the media is very. We don't have too much media here. You have a handful. So to book a theater just for 20 people doesn't work. So they have everybody there, and the media is also
So links are basically sent, watching which they review
sent
the
to
film.
journalists most of the time. Yeah, before the film is released or OTT series is released, you get it and
Okay.
then you can review it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Prakash sir. Prakash sir is our senior member. Okay,
Oh,
Lokesh, you got a question in the chat box. Can you unmute and can you ask? You have posted a question in the chat box. Fine,
Is
I'll
there a
ask.
question?
Lokesh is asking, is there any cost difference in the theaters to view the movie in UAE, like
Okay,
India?
I don't know the cost in India now. I don't know how much, what is the cost of a theater ticket in India. Here it comes to, depends on films. Sometimes it starts on 40 dirhams. Now, if today's rate of India,
800 rupees?
I think so. 40 dirhams is your minimum.
Yeah,
So it
so
starts
in
at 40.
India, it's 150 rupees in India. 100 to 150 rupees.
So I think it is still
Costly.
cheaper. No, but Dubai
Fine.
is 40 dirhams basic. So
Yes.
from then on it starts. So it will be 40 and then your premium and then depends on your seat, right? So
Yeah.
it starts from 40. And sometimes you have these very luxury theaters with IMAX and reclining seats and sometimes food served to you. This is a country of luxury. So depending on that, it might increase. But the minimum is 40 dirhams, which means 1 dirham is right now 24.5 rupees, 24.50. So you can make
1000
the
rupees
calculation.
per ticket, 1000 rupees. Okay.
Yeah,
So great.
around
Friends,
that. Yeah.
yeah, around 1000 rupees. Yeah. Friends, anyone else? Anyone like to ask any question? Or shall we wind up? Okay, thank you very much, madam.
Right. I think
It's a
everybody's
wonderful
understood
session.
everything I said.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Your
Thank
content is clear. I'll ask Dr. Mr. Professor Sampath Kumar to give the vote of thanks.
Yeah, yes, sir. Very good evening to
you.
all. On behalf of PRSI Chennai chapter, I extend our sincere gratitude to Ms. Manju Ramanan for her enlightening address and valuable insights on the topic, the Arab world and Indian cinema. I also convey my sincere thanks to our chairman, secretary, and treasurer for organizing such a wonderful event, for wonderful webinar for us. I extend my gratitude to our PRSI members and to all participants for gracing their presence. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
also
Thank you.
thank Dr. Ms. Rajeshwari Iyer who introduced Ms. Manju Ramanan to us. Thank you, Rajeshwari
Yes.
madam. Thank you very much. And Manju madam, thank you very much for a
Thank you.
wonderful time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rajeshwari.
Thank you.
We have never probably met, but thank you for this
Yeah.
beautiful association. Thank you. And be in
Thank
touch
you,
with
madam.
me more regularly. Yeah. Thank you.
Certainly,
Right.
madam. Thank you very much. You can leave, madam.
Thank
Friends,
Yeah.
yeah, now we will be posting the feedback form. Once you fill the feedback form, you will be getting your e-certificate. So please wait for 1 more minute. We'll be posting the feedback form now. Feedback form posted. Please fill it and send it across. You will be getting the e-certificate immediately. Thank you.
ஆமாங்கப்பா இதுல ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் எங்க இருக்கு ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் இருக்கு
Oh, okay.
You can't search for camera control.
Okay.
Camera, that's like which one. Now,
Okay.
some of your own apps don't have that. But if you use those apps, it's pretty, it isn't like that those are the only apps. Here's the
Okay.
app. We see the app. We know you can make this fully customizable. if you want. Carter here, you should be able to pick what app to capture.
Feedback form Google வருது பாரு.
Control in your settings, launch camera, then select which one.
Once
Hello sir, feedback finished ஆயிடுச்சு என்ன பண்ணணும்?
Hello. Raja sir.
போட்டோ நாங்க எடுக்கணும் டேட் எடுத்துக்கிறீங்களா இல்லை வாட்ஸ்அப் அனுப்பிட்டா
Raja sir. Hello. Raja sir.